That's a victory. A victory for learning. Okay? Big Al, what do you say about temperature? Let me erase all this stuff. Or can I? Yeah, there we go. So what did you say about the temperature as you go up through the troposphere? Decreases, yes. It decreases, goes down, gets smaller, colder. And that makes sense. You know, if you go up to the mountains, you got to bring a sweater. You got to bring some mittens, boots, earmuffs, maybe a babushka. You know what a babushka is? It's a big fur hat like they wear in, like Russia and stuff, and big, yeah, maybe in Pakistan too. Cold places where they got to be serious about not freezing to death. Okay? All right. Manny, as you go, now that's the troposphere, Manny. What about when you go up through the stratosphere, what happens to temperature? What do you see, man? What do you see, Manny? I don't care about all of them. I care about what you think. Well, we're just talking about temperature still. This yellow line. What happens to temperature? It starts to increase. Remember, it went from 15 to negative 50. 15 to negative 50. Now it goes from negative 50, negative 52 back down to 0. So it's getting warmer. It's increasing. The temperature is increasing. Okay? So, follow along with me, Edith. If you go up, the temperature gets colder, then it gets colder, then it gets hotter, a little louder, I can't hear anymore. It gets hotter, then it gets colder, then it gets hotter. So it kind of goes back and forth, right? And you want to know why it does that? I don't know really. Well, it has to do with the physics of the solar radiation interacting with the molecules of air. And also the force field, the magnetic force field we have around our Earth impacts that. A lot of different factors, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Okay? All right. We're done with temperature now. Leah, we need to address this idea of pressure, or the pressure level. So Leah, what pressure do we start with here on the ground? What's that? 1,000. So start with 1,000. What's happening? There we go. As we go up, if we go to the top of the troposphere, what's the pressure about? What'd you guess? We go from 1,000 to about 230. Yeah, I like that. 230, 200, 230 to about 230. Okay? So therefore, and what does it finally end up at, Leah? 0 to 0. So basically, in one word, the pressure does what? Decreases, goes down, decreases. Now, you might notice, unlike temperature, it doesn't go 0. It doesn't go negative. What's negative pressure? What do we call that? If there's negative pressure, that would be like a vacuum sucking. That's what we did in the implosion lab when the water got sucked into the can. So you need some kind of a vacuum, and you need some enclosed space to make that vacuum. So out in space, you don't have anywhere to make a vacuum, so you're not going to get negative pressure. It's just going to go down to 0 and stay there. Oh, Chile, gum? No gum? No gum? Okay. All right. Okay. Very good. Today, this is what we're going to do. I am going to give you your Part 2 test back to you. It's graded. And you are going to have the opportunity, or you're going to have to make corrections on it. Okay? So, for example, who remembers how many points there was a carbon cycle diagram you labeled, and then you were supposed to draw the water. Oh, Giselle, I need to put your gum in the garbage, please. No gum in class. Does anybody remember how many points those two questions were worth? They're in brackets at the bottom right. Anybody remember? Less than 15. Less than 12 points. Okay, 12 points. This student, let me take another example. Okay, there's a good example. This student got 10 points out of 12 on a pretty good score on the carbon cycle question. Okay, each correctly labeled thing, remember it was A, B, C, D, E, F. Each correctly labeled letters were 2 points. So if they got 10 points, it means one of the things wasn't labeled correctly. So they need to figure out which one, which would be pretty easy because every one you got correct, I circled it. Okay, every correct label on the front, I circled it. So if you got, oh yeah, photosynthesis in the correct place, I circled it, and so forth. Okay? If that person got 6 points, how many do they need to look for? How many labels do they need to correct if they got 6 out of the 12? Divide 6 by 2. 3. Every correctly labeled thing is worth 2. It's doubled. And I did that because I like to have a little wiggle room. If I think you did close, I like to give a half, one half of it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You guys are going to need to clean that for me. Okay? All right. The next one is the carbon cycle, which you had to draw yourself, which was a little harder for people. But actually, it wasn't hard for people who did what? I can still see it. It wasn't, oh, can you bring that out of the way there? It wasn't hard for people who had it on their study booklet. So I could really tell who had their study booklet. They had awesome carbon cycle. It was fantastic. And that's worth 12 points. That was an easy 12 points by being prepared, which is a great life lesson. So I'm looking at all the scores of this test, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out because, people who prepared well and did their best, they got pretty solid scores. And that's how it should be, don't you think? It should be like that. You shouldn't work hard and then have nothing to show for it. So, all right. On the back page, does anybody remember how many points those questions were worth? 5 is close. I'm thinking 6. 7. No, I'm not thinking 6, 7. I'm thinking 6 and 4. Some are 6, some are 4. So 6, 4. 6, 4. No? All right. We're going to make it happen, Louis. Right? We're going to make it happen. 6, 6, 4. Right, Deuce? I like that attitude. Okay. On the back, I wrote down, so the first question was worth 6 points. It was about the, Mark? About the Titan implosion lab. So, this, let's see. This student got, no credit. Okay. Maybe I may have missed. I think I need to rescore that. Okay. I need to fix that. Which, by the way, if it looks like I made a mistake on your test, this is a good chance to let me know and I'll fix it. Because I think I did. I need to give them a point or two. Vandervoort speaking. I'm good. How are you doing, Gomez? Yes. Yes, I'll do that. All right. You're welcome. No problem. Bye-bye. Hey, get back to me after we go over this, okay? I need to send you somewhere in a minute, but just remind me if I forget, okay? All right. So, on all these questions on the back, if it's worth 6 points and I gave you 3 points, what does that mean? Is there something you missed? Yes. So it's probably a couple ideas you need to put in there. If I give you 5 out of 6, it's just one little idea. And if you're having trouble figuring that out, let me know and I can help you, guide you a little bit. If it's worth 6 points and I put nothing there, what does that mean? It means you didn't get any points. Okay, usually I'll give you something though, which is why I think I need to look at that again. Okay? All right? So front and back, look at where you didn't get the full credit and then add the credit right to the paper. You need to use a different color. It would be best if you use a different color pen or pencil. So if you have like red or purple or green pens or something like that, do that. That'd be the best way to do it. If you did the test in pen, maybe do the correction in pencil or vice versa. Okay? If you have nothing that's different, you just have a pencil or a pen, I want you to just circle your new stuff. The important thing is I need to be able to see your corrections, the things you added. If I can't see that, then you won't get any points. Okay? Questions so far? This question, some students got an A. Do they still need to do corrections? Yeah, they do. In fact, if they don't do corrections, their A could go down to a B. Their C could go down to a D. So you're like, hey, I got a C. I don't need to correct anything. I'm good. Well, no, you're not. You still need to do corrections. Okay? All right? If you do a good job of the corrections, it can raise your test score. You could go from a B to an A or C to a B if you really do well on the corrections. I can tell when I see that effort. And if there's one thing I like to do as a teacher, it's to reward effort on your part. So show me that effort, and you'll be rewarded. It'll boost your grade. Your original test grade won't change, but there's a separate assignment in the test category. Tests count for 30% of your grade. So there's a separate assignment or 20 points. So if you get 20 out of 20, it'll be like raising your test grade up 5-6 percentage points. All right? Questions on that? Okay. I do need to there are some people that need to take the test though. And I'm going to get those people lined up in here up front. So if you're up in front here, like you guys all took the test, right? Oh, you didn't. So you stay there, Andrew, okay? Did you took it? So all of you guys took it, right? Besides Andrew. Okay, why don't you guys head out? You hang tight for a second. Okay. Sam, why don't you come on over here? Line up there.